Today is 5/3/2015, and that earthquake that happened yesterday, Saturday on 5/2/15, was a 4.2 earthquake in Michigan, in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and it expanded for, it went into Indiana, went into Ohio, Illinois, and parts of Wisconsin, and Canada, and most of the lower part of Michigan. So it was massive. It was massive, but it was only a 4.2 magnitude, so it wasn't that big, and it didn't last that long. It only lasted between 20 and 30 seconds. But man, when it does, it's like like that. But and what it does is it feels like a big car crash. It crashed into your house or your apartment or wherever, or your building, whatever building you're in. It feels like a car crashed into it. And I heard like it's like a big, it sounded like a heavy dumbbell, you know, or a heavy barbell that you lift really heavy, something really heavy rolling. That's what it sounded like to me. But sounded like something really heavy rolling in the attic. But this apartment complex that I live in don't have an attic. It has a apartment that's about 5 or 6 feet below ground, and then it has this apartment, and then it has an apartment above it. So there can't be no attic. I mean, so but it does sound like a big barbell rolling, and then of course the shaking was shaking, and it kind of felt like the 2x4s were swaying too. The 2x4s in the construction was swaying. Man, it all happened for 20 to 30 seconds. Started at 12:25 or a little bit before p.m. That's just afternoon on 5/2/2015, and like I said, the last one Michigan had was in 1947. Michigan hasn't had an earthquake since 1947 of that magnitude. They probably had little small ones that were unfelt, but and they said it was like in 81, I think. 81 was there was a real small earthquake that was hardly even felt, but it hasn't been since 1947 that Michigan has had an earthquake. In 1947 it was a 4.6 magnitude. So it wasn't until 1947, until now, 2015. So that's a lot of years. It's a lot of years. 1947 to 2015. It's a lot of years. So it's very rare in Michigan to have an earthquake. But that's why no one knew what it was. Everybody was puzzled. What was that? You know. So it'll probably be a long time before we have another one. Who knows? And that small of an earthquake, you usually don't have aftershocks. So I read on the internet where one person was at the Kalamazoo at some point in the Kalamazoo River. They're over there by it, and the river was flowing like it normally flows. Then they said that if it started flowing the opposite way for 5 minutes. So the Kalamazoo River went from going this way to going this way for 5 minutes. It went like that for a good 5 minutes, they said. Kept going that way, changed direction. So that earthquake was massive, man. It was massive. It was all over the place in different states and everybody's city. Michigan, the lower part of Michigan, and it was massive. Everybody felt it, and probably won't feel it for another few years, a few more decades. Probably gonna talk decades, but boy, you really do feel it, man. Even at a low magnitude of a 4.2, something definitely happens. It's the plates. The plates when they collide with each other, when they go under each other like that, that's what causes that earthquake. And I guess the plates aren't that involved near Michigan. It's elsewhere where they have more earthquakes. That's more involved. Where the plates, because the Earth is comprised of a bunch of plates like this. When they move like this, then that's when you get that earthquake. But so it'll be a while before another earthquake probably. You never know though. Could be tomorrow. Could be 40 or more, 50, 60 years from now. Who knows? But that's what I have to say. No earthquake today on 5/3/2015. Watch all my videos. Thanks a lot for watching this one. Yeah. Remember one thing, that when in an earthquake you want to be in a doorway, because the doorway is twice as strong as any other wall in your house, any window or any wall. Stay away from the other walls. Go in. Position yourself inside the doorway, like this. Let me show you. Position yourself inside the doorway like this. Okay. See, that's the doorway. Position yourself inside the doorway, because you got a double 2x4 here. You got a double 2x4 here. A double 2x4 here. Okay, because doorways are built stronger because they're a wider opening. So in all houses, the doorway, houses, homes, or any building, the doorway will always be the strongest, because it's going across more than 16 inches on center. So anything more than 16 inches on center is city code to double up on the 2x4s or the whatever size the building is made out of, because it can be made out of 2x6s and even 2x8s, because the reason you want it wider is so you can put more insulation in there so you save heat. But most standard houses are 2x4s. So what you do is you get inside that doorway because it's twice as strong. It's twice as strong anywhere else in your house. That's why you get inside the doorway. And if you don't think that's going to work, you think the building's going to collapse, get outside and say at least the distance of the height of the building, because the height of the building is what you got to worry about. The height of the building can still fall on you, so you want to not only get outside, but get at least the height of the building away from it. Because remember 911, when all those those fire department people and the police department people, all them people died in that accident of 911, because they were right at the base of the building, and that was like hundreds of feet high. So they had no chance. Once they got that close, they had no chance, because once the building starts falling, it falls too fast to get out of the way. It's like trying to dodge a bullet, and you can't. And same thing with the building. So remember to get inside the strongest part of your house, which is the doorway. The doorway is the strongest part of your house. And if that ain't gonna work, then get outside and get at least the building's length away, the building height length away, because you don't want to be near the building, because it's probably gonna fall down. And I would get a good 10 feet beyond that, because when a building comes down, they hit and bounce, so you could still get killed. So stay away from buildings in an earthquake. And if it's just going to be a minor one, you don't think the building's going to collapse, get it in the doorway. It doesn't matter where you're at, it doesn't matter what building you're at, it doesn't even matter how high the building is. If there's a doorway, get in it, because that's the strongest part of that structure. And that's a fact. And I just thought I'd add this to my video. And thanks a lot. I hope you keep watching my videos, and I hope you stay safe.